In 2021, Minitoon announced he was working on a new spin-off game named Intercity. But the game got bigger and it's now like a sequel to Book 2 set 10 years after the events of the Hidden Ending. It is the most hyped game in Piggy and it's been worked on for 4 years, which is a very long time for a Piggy game. And it's split into 3 parts and it's supposed to release in 2025. But it looks like it's going to be late 2025 as it's already October and we haven't even gotten a trailer yet. We've gotten 2 teasers. But with all this hype coming up for Intercity, many people are asking the question, is it even a good idea? Alright, so I think the most important thing that Intercity needs to get right is it can't just all release at the same time. Because yeah, that would be cool and it would mean we get to play it as fast as possible. But it mean that the Piggy main storyline, it would die very quickly. And if Intercity flops, then I don't know if anyone will bother to play Piggy Undead or any of the other new titles soon. So if Piggy Intercity fails at updating properly and just releases all in one go, I think it means that the entire Piggy franchise is dead. Or, well, obviously the content will still be good, but I think if it launches of 100,000, then it will quickly drop. But if it weekly updates the game and slowly releases part 1, part 2 and part 3, then I think it could even get 1 million. Not guaranteed 1 million, most likely at least 200,000 though, right? Paranormal Pigmas had 24 hours of hype, and I think it got 100,000, 90,000, something like that. Decay Delirium had 3 hours of hype, or obviously more than that, but 3 hours of hype on the Roblox homepage, and it had about 80,000 players by season 8, which is insane. And I think Piggy Intercity's been worked on for a while, and I think they should treat it like they did with Book 1 because they have all the content to release. This isn't like Book 2 where we're rushing them or anything. This is they've made the content. They just can't release it all at the same time because that'd be pretty stupid. Another extremely important thing when it comes to Intercity is whether it's a better idea than Book 3. If you didn't know, many people believe Piggy Book 1 and Book 2 should have been a trilogy, while the large majority agree that Book 2 was enough time to fully develop the characters. Some people do think that chapters 1 to 6 and 7 to 12 should have been their own books. Personally, I don't think this was a good idea, but in terms of Intercity content, this could be translated in Book 3 possibly. But we already have Misfits, which will kind of be like a Book 3, the more traditional Piggy style. We don't need a Book 4. People just want Book 3 to feel new Piggy content, consistent new Piggy content coming out, and Book 3 promises that. But so does Intercity, and Minitoon is a bit tired of doing Book 3. And even if there was a Book 3, let's say by the time Chapter 5 came out, the story got a bit boring, or something like that, we'd be stuck with 7 more chapters of just a boring story. And Intercity is a lot more large than Book 1 and Book 2 could ever be. So I think if you condense that into a Book 3, it would have to be a Book 3, 4 and 5. That's why it's Intercity Part 1, 2 and 3. And while Book 3, 4 and 5 would be welcome in the community, it would be a bit repetitive by Book 5. Comment if you agree or disagree. But would Intercity be a good game, if that's what matters? Well, from the leaks and the content and everything we've gotten so far, I'd say yes actually. I'm hopeful that Intercity will be a genuinely good game. I could be wrong, as we've only gotten advertising things to show us Intercity. When you look at Book 2, and Book 1, you see what went wrong and what went right. But when you look at Intercity, it hasn't come out yet, so we have no idea anything that could go wrong with it. We only know the good stuff that's coming out, and even then we don't know everything. But from what we do know, it looks very promising, but we only know about Part 1. My only worry is that they won't actually solve some of the mysteries especially considering Millington thinks that we can work some of them out from what released in book 2 4 years ago. And he was a bit shocked that the community hadn't worked that out. In that case, it's our fault. But yeah, I am hopeful that Intercity Part 1 will be a good game. I'm hopeful that Intercity Part 2 will be a good game. And I really hope that Intercity Part 3 will be a good game, because that game is the final game of Piggy main storyline, which will be a lot harder to do than Part 1 and Part 2. But Part 1 and Part 2, I'm sure, will be great. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. And see you in the next video.